How's it going, guys? It's Poetry Set, and welcome to Crusader Kings 3. We're going to go in and get started here pretty quickly with our first campaign. We have a lot to talk about, obviously, with the fact that we are playing a new Paradox game. But let's just go ahead and hop right in first. I'll talk about, we have a lot to talk about in terms of my thoughts on the game so far and everything. But let's go ahead and hop right in first with our character, talking about our character and who we're going to be playing as. If you haven't seen the name of this campaign, it's going to be called the Dutch Dynasty Dominion, because we're going to be playing as a Dutch character to start, and who knows, maybe stuff will change from there. But our plan is going to be to try to bring about a glorious age of Dutch rule, Dutch dominion in the Low Countries. So we're going to be starting today as the Duke of Holland, who I believe there are plenty of other Dutch characters. I think, at least. I don't actually know. It looks like a lot of them are Franconian here. There are other Dutch characters, I'm sure, but the Duke of Holland is, I believe, the only Duke level title that is ruled by a Dutchman at the start. So we're going to go ahead and get started here with the Duke of Holland. So if you're not aware, let's see. If you're not aware of what Crusader Kings is, and this is your first time looking at it, seeing it, then I'm surprised that you found it on my channel. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about how much I've played so far. So far, I don't think we really want to change anything here, by the way. Again, I want to hop right in. I don't want to really spend too much time on this. I think this is pretty much just good. If you don't know what Crusader Kings is, which again I find very doubtful, Dutch Dynasty Dominion. Crusader Kings has always been a game that I have found quite enjoyable. I play mostly European Universalis 4 on my channel, but I have done Crusader Kings 2 series in the past, and I've kept myself fairly blind about the development of Crusader Kings 3. But now that we're here and I've bought the game and started playing it, I gotta say, I've been very, very impressed. I've been having a lot of fun so far. Here, we'll start doing stuff. Well, before we get going, I just want to say, yeah, so I didn't get a review copy or anything, so I bought the game with my money, and my thoughts are, completely my own here. I've found the game to be really fun so far, and we're going to talk a lot more about it as we get going. But if you are new to Crusader Kings, Crusader Kings 3 is very similar to Crusader Kings 2 if you played that. But if you're completely new to it, the main differences between Crusader Kings 3 and other stuff, other games like EU4 or Hearts of Iron 4 or anything else, is that Crusader Kings 3 is very much more of a role-playing game. It's very much more, it leans heavily onto the role-playing side of things, and also is less about a country or a kingdom or anything. It's more about your dynasty. It's about relations and characters, which hence plays into the role-play aspect, right? It is much more about the building a dynasty, right, rather than building a realm, a nation-state like EU4 has you do. So starting in CK3, we start with one character with a relatively small family, the Gerolfing dynasty. I don't know if I don't speak Dutch. We start with a very small dynasty here with not many living relatives. 4 living. It's me and my sisters, and we have the challenge of growing this dynasty into a large dynasty, trying to grow it across Europe and beyond. The thing with Crusader Kings that is very interesting, and that is a lot different than EU4 with that, is that you can be very successful without even owning that much land directly. You could own just like a few provinces and have like your brother be the king somewhere else, and your sister be the queen somewhere else, and another brother be a duke somewhere else, and that could give you a pretty good base of power and a good base of like prestige and renown, which are very valuable in this game, more than just pure conquest force, right? So anyways, so that's the main difference with Crusader Kings, and with that being said, we're going to go and hop in here. If you're new to Crusader Kings, which I don't assume many people watching this are, then then I'm not going to be going over a lot of the stuff as we're going. I've been playing, let's see, how many hours do I have in this game? I have 12 hours in this game so far, which is, baby amount of hours for a game like this, for these games. But at the same time, I've had enough time playing to kind of get a hold of the basics, especially because, honestly, what is a good thing, in my opinion, because of the fact that I think at least, and I think most people agree, that the core mechanics of this game are... wait, you're my aunt? Okay. Yeah, there's my mom, yeah. I think partially because of the fact that... Crusader Kings 3 definitely seems to have basically almost all exactly the same core mechanics as Crusader Kings 2, and I personally think that is a really good thing. I think that the foundation of CK2 is really good, and the fact that they kept the foundational gameplay all the same is really good. They made a lot of good changes that we'll get talking about, in my opinion, but, like, for instance, like the way that titles work, the way your council works, it's all super, super intuitive coming from Crusader Kings 2, and that's something I'm very happy about. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and get started here. Again, I have a lot to talk about, my opinions about the game, things I like, things I dislike. But let's talk a little bit about what our goals are going to be. So starting as the Duke of Holland here, let me take a sip of my coffee. Starting as the Duke of Holland here, we are fairly weak. We want to very quickly get either some allies or other things. We are part of the HRE, so we're not at like an immediate risk of getting gobbled up by France, for instance. But at the same time, it's gonna, with a couple large neighbors basically being the only things around us, it's going to be a little hard to actually make much progress here. I don't want to do a diplomacy education. We definitely want to do martial for our first character, with how small we are. Diplomacy is pretty good, and I've actually had a couple characters in my other games be very good diplomacy-focused characters, but I think the military thing is going to be a little more important right now. So yeah, so our goal is going to be, right off the bat, get some alliances and just get some more land right here. The Holland Duchy is fairly small. There's only one other province here, the county, or the county of Zealand, which just has a temple and a castle and room for another holding. And we start with the duchy title under our control, but we'd like to get the province of Zealand under our control if possible. Utrecht really has... So I know this is like a historical thing where Utrecht, de jure Utrecht, is like split. But that's still interesting that it is even in this time period. I didn't know if that... I'm assuming it must be historical. 3 provinces for Utrecht, and then Gelre is, let's see, 1, 2, 3 as well. And then Frisia, 1, 2, 3 as well. Okay, so our goal is to really consolidate this area. Our goal is essentially our midterm goal, and what will really kind of establish our power is if we could eventually form the Kingdom of Frisia. This is a fairly population-dense area, I think, even in this time period. So if we could do that, I think we will have a decent power base. If we can get enough of these provinces here, I think we will we'll be able to have a decent power base. And from there, I think we want to try to expand into the Low Countries, the southern Low Countries, into what is currently Lotharingia and like Flanders here in France. Yeah, I think long term we want to create a greater Netherlands, a greater Low Countries. I mean, I think Netherlands and Low Countries basically mean the exact same thing, literally, right? Frisia, from Frisia to Luxembourg to Flanders, right? I think that is going to be our goal long term. That's long term, obviously. For now, I know we're just going on speed 3. That's because, again, I kind of want to just take things in a little bit, right? Talk about things, other things like that. I will hire you. So, yeah. So there's a lot of things that are the same from Crusader Kings 2. There's a lot of things that are different. Let's just start talking about some of the things that are different. For right now, by the way, we're going to essentially be waiting here, I think, until I come of age, so that I can then... Well, I mean, I could find a spouse now, but I think I'd rather just leave it open for now. Yeah, I don't know what we want to do as far as, like, who we want to marry, but we'll figure that out. So, as far as let's just jump into talking about some of the things I think are really cool changes. For one, I really like the way that they display the map now. The fact that now in the on the map you can see the subholdings. That was something in CK2 that was always hard to kind of have to deal with, is not being able to see the subholdings, you know, cities, baronies, etc. It was always a little annoying to have to kind of go look at the county view and stuff. The fact that they're represented on the map and make it, you know, so the strategy layer, moving armies around, is a little more complex, especially now that forts in this game, if you didn't know, forts are defensive. Baronies and forts that are, or, you know, provinces that have forts on them are defensive now, and that makes it so there are legitimately ways you can like use ways you can use terrain to your advantage, and the fact that the subholdings are represented makes it so that there's a lot more maneuverability on the map. It's much more detailed, and you know, the armies, you can do a lot more maneuvering around your enemies and stuff, or they can do it around you, right? Also, I'm looking here. I'm trying to see where are these islands. This is actually this is one barony holding, or one empty holding spot. A lot of empty holdings here, so we you know, if we can earn money long term, that'd be a good thing to build up more of. I'm not going to convert to Catharism. So that's one cool change, I think, that I really liked in Crusader Kings 3 so far. Additionally, and this is a much more general thing, a lot of dukes and counts are converting to Catharism. Wow. Additionally, though, so another thing that I really have enjoyed is well, so let's see. Actually, so since religion has come up, the fact of the matter is that there's a million freaking religions in this game, and lots of them, I don't think there's as many that are really unique, right? Like, that have unique things for them, but like the fact that there's so many religions, and a lot of them are historically based and stuff, is, I think, pretty cool. It's obviously fairly simple, like just a few traits for each, right? And then it's a lot of the same traits. But I find it really cool that there's this many religions, especially Christian faiths and Muslim faiths, right? Yeah, and so I think that's pretty cool. What is this? I realize I am heterosexual. Cool. I don't know how common it is in this game to be like asexual or homosexual, but I know it can happen. Duke Krutoi, I don't know how to pronounce that. Venetia? Yeah, it's not Venetia. That'd be like Venice. Valetia. Okay. So our liege, the Holy Roman Emperor, has declared a war. It's fine. I'm not really worried about it. Yeah. So, so right now, like, what's our plan? Well, we're kind of just sitting here because there isn't really that much more we can actually do, if we're being realistic here. Right now, until we get married, and we're about to come of age, so that will happen soon. We do have we actually have half brothers and half sisters, but we only have 2 that are of our dynasty here. No, 3. Sorry, 3. Yeah, my sister and heir. Duke Godfried, Lower Lorraine, ate some of mines. Okay. And I apologize now if anyone watching this is Dutch speaking. I do not speak Dutch. Oh, okay. The Normans won already in England. Fair enough. Fair enough. But Norway is still trying to take it over. Okay. So we're gonna keep on speed 5 for a little bit. When is my birthday? How do you see your birthday? January. Okay, it's just January 1st. It's a standard birthday. Got it. For one, they don't know it. They normally just stick it on January 1st. Hey, there we go. All right. I never truly connected with anyone. Oh no. Oh no. I'm a misguided warrior. Really? But I also got Reaver. That's actually a good thing to get. Yeah, actually I probably didn't have an educator even, maybe. We're lustful as well. Lustful and temperate. Okay, as long as we're making, and we're just though. 8 martial is not that great, but 13 stewardship is really good. Okay, we definitely need to get married now. Honestly, someone with high stewardship would be fine. Greedy, just, and brave. You're fine, honestly. Unless there's anything with anyone with a congenital trait that's near the top. Nah, it's fine. Honestly, for our first wife, we're not gonna have any real chance, I don't think, of actually having getting like another duchess to marry us or anything like that, right? We're way too small for that, so that's fine. I got an achievement for marrying someone. I've played this game in Iron Man already, so that's a little weird, but okay. There we go. There we go. We have no lifestyle chosen. We will do this. And yeah, this is one of the changes I think is coolest about this game, is the fact that there is now whole skill trees, like literally RPG type skill trees, that you can do for each of the stats. I mean, you can only do one at a time, one lifestyle focus, and then you can change every 5 years, I think. It's very similar to the Way of Life DLC for CK2, but incorporated in the base game, and it expands so much more upon that. And honestly, I think this is one of my favorite features of CK3, coming from CK2. I think this takes the roleplay. CK2 already had a lot more roleplay elements than like U4, for instance, right? But this part of this game really takes the roleplay aspect of Crusader Kings to like a whole new level, and it's very in depth and very like, you know, customizable. I think it's really cool. Honestly, it's one of my favorite features of the game. So yeah, so I think we're going to be going straight for strategy focus, right? This stuff down here is good for other, like prowess is like personal combat ability. This stuff, dread, makes it, if you get dread, you can basically become more like absolutist and strike fear into your subjects' hearts. That can be useful if you have like a lot of vassals, I think. Well, we have none right now, except like maybe a mayor or bishop. And the martial stuff is just straight martial advantage, martial points. So that's, I think, going to be best for us. I think also this is some of the better conquest-focused things, right? Yeah, these focus more on dread. And then, so yeah, there's these 3. You pick a focus, which is just like your bonuses you get baseline. Then you earn experience, and then you can put your experience into any of these traits going down these trees. And I was a little confused at first. They're not tied to them, even though they, like, Overseer is related to Dread, just like Authority. And Gallant is related to Chivalry Focus, just like, you know, like it would make sense. And then Strategist is related to Strategy, right? But there's no limit. Like, if you're on Strategy Focus, you can still invest in any of these 3. So it's fine. This is just your basic bonus. Then we could do, like, if we want to take Prowess first, we could. If we want to do this one first, we could, right? Yeah, I'd rather gain some money right away. Yeah. But yeah, so let's see. By the way, it's so like crammed together here, I can't even see. So let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. These are our 4 holdings. And then 1, it's a city, 2, 3, okay. Interesting. So what is our play? Well, I think the Duchy of Lower Lorraine needs to be our first target. I actually kind of think that maybe we should try to murder him. Yeah, murdering people works very similar to CK2. I like the new system, but it's not much different. Again, I think one of the coolest parts about CK3, one of my biggest worries Count Magnus? Who's Count Magnus? My cousin? He's Catholic. Oh, whatever. I don't care. One of the things I was most worried about coming into CK3 with no expectations and really no knowledge of the dev diaries or anything like that. I didn't keep up with the development of it. And one thing I was worried about is that they would change things too much. But I think that they did a really good job of making the game be like the skills that you would have picked up by playing, Crusader Kings 2, very transferable, like very transferable to the fact where it feels super natural. You have to get used to the new menus, but beyond that, it's like everything feels the same in a good way. Except then they've added on new depth and new layers with like the role-playing system. And for instance, like the tech system, which I haven't even talked about in this video, but the tech system, which is tied to your culture now, and in my opinion makes a lot of sense, and is very intuitive and easy, but also has some depth. Like the stuff they did change, I think they changed really well and made it better. And the stuff they didn't change, and a lot of that is simple stuff, like the fact that forts are defensive, or the fact that your armies all group up in one place, which is super, super just nice not to have to manually group them up every time, right? The fact that boats are just you right-click onto the ocean and you embark, that easy, right? A lot of the finicky stuff has been taken out, and a lot of the stuff they've added, like the role-playing elements, are really good, like just really good and in-depth. And other than that, the core stuff, which is I think the most important stuff, has stayed the same. And so, I actually really, really think they did a good job with keeping the good stuff the same and changing some of the annoying parts, and then also adding more good stuff, right? So, yeah. Okay, my ants are getting knocked up all over the place. Also, though, here I need to marry my sisters away. Does the King of France have any? Yeah, it's King Philippe. King Philippe. Could I arrange a marriage with one of my sisters, perhaps? Actually, specifically, we should arrange a marriage with one of my younger sisters. Yeah, my youngest sister. If we can do this and get an alliance with France, that's going to be beautiful. And maybe Angria, which is actually my uncle, so a little bit, with inbreeding already. But, I mean, what? Basically, so if we can get one good alliance, I think that's fine. I think with my other sisters, what I'd like to do is marry them matrilineally. Because... ooh, genius. You're 38, that's fine for a guy. I'm basically thinking, like, if I... you want to get more male dynasty members as soon as possible, right? Like, getting alliances is nice, but also getting good, getting good, male members of your family is fine. Yeah, so by the way, one thing that's really nice is that, like, hovering over stuff, you can just hover for a second and then literally look at anything that is blue with the tooltips here. I'm going to do this, even though this guy's already 38. I think that's fine, honestly. Oh, inheritable traits? Wait, why? Is she hunchback? She is. Well, that's actually kind of unfortunate. You know what, then? In that case, no, screw it. I don't want her to carry on the family line. No, that's terrible. Here, I would like to marry this sister to the same guy, to this guy. Yeah, just genius. Matrilineal marriage. I think, so in this case, I realize now, well, but she's my main heir, though. Oh, I definitely need to make sure I get kids, but I don't really want to become her anyways. I could just have her murdered. No, I think I'll try to get an alliance here. You know what? King of Denmark, sure. Sure. King of Denmark? Yeah, marry my hunchback sister. That seems fine. Yeah, that seems fine. Okay. And now I can, oh, you don't have to, I forgot, you don't have to actually manually ally people. This is the Hungarian guy, and then France. There we go. Now that we've allied France, we can start to focus on maybe getting claims. So one thing that's really nice, again, another small positive change, is the fact that, all this stuff here is under control. So Frisia, we'd like to get Frisia, if anything. I think Frisia is a good next step. I don't know. I don't know. Any of this stuff is going to be important to get. Maybe this province here from Utrecht. One thing that's very nice is the fact that for the stuff that in Crusader Kings 2 was very much chance-based, like fabricating claims, converting religion, whatever that is. I guess it's there. Yeah, converting religion, converting faith, and other stuff, and even new stuff that they've added that's similar, like integrating titles. With all of that, it is now no longer chance-based. There's chance-based events that can affect it, but now it's very much, it just takes blank amount of time based on their skill, and that's it. And that's beautiful, because now you can more reliably get claims. You know you can get claims. Like, look at this. So we just set this, and look at that. It's going at a steady rate. So, cool. Yeah, okay. We're going to actually have to wrap up here for this first episode, but, what is this? You know, sure, okay, the Emperor wants to hear me out in my thoughts on martial stuff. I will also say, the last thing I'll say for this video is that I've also really liked the events. They seem like they put a lot of work into the events, and in CK2, I eventually just stopped reading them. So far, maybe that'll happen eventually once I know all the events, but so far, a lot of the events, not all of them, but a lot of them like will catch my attention immediately, and I'll be like, ooh, well, I actually want to read this and stuff, which is cool. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching this first episode of a new series. You know, I know I've been bad about uploading stuff on the YouTube channel lately, but hopefully you guys enjoy this. I don't know how well CK3 will do on my channel, but I have been having a lot of fun with the game. I'm going to be playing it a lot more either way. And if you really like it and really like watching it, feel free to follow the Twitch channel. I actually stream. I've been streaming this game like almost every day for the past few days, and I'm going to continue doing that for a while. So, you know, I would appreciate the support. You know, feel free to leave a like if you enjoyed. And other than that, the support means a lot right at the start of the series. And I'll see you guys in the next episode of the Dutch Dynasty Dominion. Bye-bye.